Today we're heading to my favorite city of San Sebastian in the Basque country of Spain yet again, this time for the most glorious cheesecake. If you're wondering why the cheesecake is burnt, you have never been to La Viña bar in San Sebastian, where this recipe is from. Most cheesecake recipes are awfully boring, creamy, dense and sweet, and as homogeneous as American suburbs in the 1950s. But this one is different. It's insanely light and fluffy in the center, but as you move to the outside, the flavor gets complex, like burnt caramel, and the smoothness is replaced by the texture of very small curds like ricotta. Many fans of La Viña cheesecake have tried to get their recipe, and many have failed. But in this world of social media, secrets are not kept for long. And at some point, a few recipes for La Viña cheesecake started to circulate on the internet. I'm not sure who was the first to crack this nut, but my deepest thanks goes out to Andrea Duty for her investigative work and a very well-written recipe that guided me to success. Let's preheat the oven to 425 degrees and burn some cheesecake. So what's the mystery cheese that makes it taste so good? It's Philadelphia cream cheese. We'll start with a whole kilogram of it. That's 4.5 packages of 8 ounces each. Add 340 grams of granulated sugar. Cover the mixer with a towel or plastic wrap to prevent things from falling out and start on low speed. Most recipes for this cheesecake call for caster or superfine sugar. You can buy it or make it by running granulated sugar through a food processor for a few minutes. But I've tested this recipe with both superfine and granulated sugars and didn't see any difference. Granulated sugar is cheaper, everyone has it, so that's what I'm using today. The temperature of ingredients doesn't matter much either. You're welcome to use them straight from the fridge or at room temperature. Make sure to scrape the sides of your mixer a few times, and as the sugar starts to get absorbed, turn up the speed to medium. You want to give your cheese a really good beating so that the sugar can start to dissolve. Once your cream cheese is perfectly smooth and creamy, add 7 large eggs, one at a time. Turn down the speed to low each time an egg goes in to prevent it from being thrown back in your face. Then increase the speed to medium for about 10 seconds. When the mixture is homogeneous again, lower the speed and add the next egg. Scrape your bowl after the first 3 or 4 eggs are in, and again after all the eggs are in. In order for our cheesecake not to crack, we need to use a bit of flour. I have a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour here, to which I'll gradually add 2 cups of heavy cream. I like to start with about half of the cream first for the ease of getting out the flour lumps. It's a bit sticky at first, but keep mixing and you'll get all those flour lumps out. My cream was having technical difficulties due to the fact that it was not homogenized, and all the solid fat got stuck to the top of the bottle. I tried to shake it and stir it, but it just wouldn't listen. The little lumps you see are the fat cap from the cream. If you have flour lumps, that's not good, but solid chunks of fat are not a biggie. Get yourself homogenized cream and life will be way easier. Dump all this flour cream mixture into your cream cheese mixture and mix on low speed to combine. Towards the end, I mixed it a bit by hand because, as you can see, my poor mixer is full to the brim. You might be wondering whether this will fit into your stand mixer. It will. My bowl is only 4.5 quarts, which is on the small side for a stand mixer. Let's grease a 9-inch springform pan to help the parchment paper stick to it. Fit the first piece of paper into the pan and press it against the sides. We need the parchment to be at least 3 inches above the top of the pan. As you can see, it doesn't go high enough in some places. So we'll grease the bottom of the first paper and put a second piece of paper in to cover the bare spots. If you have too much paper, trim it. Pour the creamy cheesecake mix into the pan. It should reach the top of the pan, and when it bakes, it will climb up the paper like a souffle. If parts of the paper are folding into the creamy mixture, reach in with your hand or the spatula and press the paper against the side of the pan. Put the pan in the middle of 425-degree oven for 1 hour, or until the cheesecake is puffy, very dark brown on top, but still jiggly. Let it cool to room temperature. As the cheesecake cools, it will fall. That's perfectly normal. It can be refrigerated for several days, but I would strongly suggest bringing it to room temperature for a few hours before serving. Wipe your knife clean after each cut, as it will get very goopy. And here it is, La Viña cheesecake. In case you're wondering what's the ideal level of darkness for this cheesecake, well, so was I. So I tried baking it a bit longer to see what would happen. The center was still fabulous, but the black crust was a tad too dry and bitter. So here is the color that's perfect, and here is the color that's too dark. Aren't you glad I make all the mistakes so that you don't have to? For more secret recipes, don't forget to subscribe to Helen's Kitchen channel. And if you're ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in one of my classes.